Hi, this is Kurt with Kramer Auction, and I'm sitting here today with Jerry Meyers. Jerry is the current president of the Southwest Wisconsin Two-Cylinder Club, and I'm going to talk to Jerry a little bit about that. And then Jerry was also a good friend of Dale Vogel. We've got the Vogel tractor estate going on right now, so I want to get into some interesting stories with him about that as well. So thanks a lot for sitting down with me today.
Yes, sir.
We pulled you right out of the field here to come in and have a few words, so I appreciate that. But first of all, tell us a little bit about the Southwest Wisconsin Two-Cylinder Club, your events that you do, and your current president, and I hear doing a great job. So.
Yep, current president of the Southwest Wisconsin Two-Cylinder Club. We have a show the first full weekend of August, which this year is August 1st and 2nd. And we actually have hay demonstrations this year, and tractors and equipment and all that kind of stuff. And so,
you do a lot with the older equipment, running demonstrations.
Yes.
It's not just a static show. There's demonstrations and things like that throughout, correct?
Yep, there will be old balers, 14 Ts, 24 Ts. We have a wire tie, 116W wire tie baler that's going to be there. We have a John Deere hay press where you tie it by hand.
Okay.
As fork it in and
sure.
So. Yep, so we're going to do that, and sickle mowers are going to cut it type of thing, and yep.
Yeah,
so it should be fun.
That's a neat opportunity for people to see. Some of those guys remember using that stuff, and a lot of people have heard stories about their fathers and grandfathers using that stuff,
yes.
So it's a neat place to go and get to see all that equipment in operating condition.
Yes, so, seeing it running.
Yeah, well, that's great. So a little bit about Dale Vogel. So Dale was one of the founding members, I believe, of the Boscobel Antique Club, and I think a longtime member of the Southwest Two-Cylinder Club as well.
Yes.
Is that kind of how you got to know him? Is through the club?
That's how I got to know him, through the club. I've actually hauled equipment for him to like Baraboo shows and stuff like that, and I've known him for quite some time. Very nice fellow. Yeah,
he's I've never heard a bad word spoken about him to anybody I've talked to.
I don't believe I have neither.
Yeah.
So he's just a nice guy. The family's a nice family.
They really are. Yes, nice family, and very talented too, and that kind of is going to lead me into something else. I know we talked on the phone. You were heading out to the big green show.
Gathering of the Green.
Gathering of the Green. You took a bunch of the flyers that we had early on for the Vogels and about their upcoming sale, and you told me a really interesting story over the phone. And I feel like that story that you told me really reflects and tells a lot about Dale and the quality of his workmanship and his restorations. And if you don't mind, just kind of share that story with me, just like you're telling it for the first time. So.
Yes, Dale has a shop that he restored tractors in Fenimore, which where he lived. And I would stop in. We get done at the end of the day, stop in, see him, visit with him sometimes or whatever. And he was working on a 630 John Deere.
Okay.
He had the floorboard platform flipped upside down, and had some pits and stuff in it, sanding it down. And I told Dale, I says, nobody's ever going to see that. And he looked at me, he says, yep, you're right. But he says, I'm going to know. And to me, like, I love that story just for the fact that that explains the quality of the restorations that he will do. I mean, bar none.
That was it. He was a true perfectionist.
Yes.
Whether it was something he was doing for himself or for somebody who was doing a restoration for, it didn't matter what it was. He wanted it perfect.
He wanted it perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so.
As good or better than new. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's thank you for that. That's a great story, and like I said, it really sums up, I feel like, the quality of his restoration. And super knowledgeable guy too. I mean, he knew. I mean, obviously Oliver's was his number one love, but I mean, with the Waterloo Boy he restored, and anything he kind of worked on, I feel like he dove into it and became an expert on it.
I think anything that he tackled was, like I say, there was no, throw it to the wayside. I mean, if he was going to do it, it was going to be right. It was going to be perfect when he was done, or as close to perfect as it could be.
Yep.
And that's the kind of work that he did, period.
And he was doing a lot of his work early on, before the internet, obviously.
Yep.
There was a lot of the way he would do some of his restorations early on that he didn't know a lot about or didn't have manuals. He would take things apart, he would photograph them. We had all kinds of old Polaroid and
Right.
early pictures that he kept of his restorations as he was going through, so he remembered how to put things back together in the correct order and things like that. So anything that, like I said, he wasn't familiar with, he was going to make himself familiar with.
Yes,
So,
I mean he did a fine job. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And if you go look at the tractors, I mean, they speak for themselves. I mean, they're top quality.
They really do. I mean, obviously, I've been an auctioneer for a long time, been selling, farm tractors to collector tractors, and my dad, of course, was a tractor man, and we sold his collection here recently as well. But the workmanship that Dale does, I mean, new wiring harnesses, to have working gauges and working lights, and overhauled engines, and just he left no stone unturned.
Yep, and a lot of them tractors, were some of them were some that he actually farmed with, when he farmed.
Yeah, we had that F20. I think that was one of the, he remembered as a boy running that on a threshing rig or something like that. And so a lot of local tractors he pulled out of the weed lines and restored, which is pretty cool, and they kind of kept some information where they came from, and some of that's in our catalog as well.
And one thing, he was a high on like local advertising, local businesses, local tractors, local. I mean, he loved the local stuff, and and even like some of them, I think the 550 is something he used and actually left the family, and I think he ended up finding it and bringing it back, and which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there was a few of those that I think he used through the years or had a connection with, and then searched them, found them out later, restored them, and kept them. And that's something else we have on the auction too. A lot of manuals, literature, and a lot of local advertising pieces, local signage, things like that. So it's going to be a pretty cool sale. So anything else about Dale you want to wrap up here with? So
just a super nice guy, super nice family. I mean, other than that, I don't know what else to say.
It kind of speaks for itself, and it's a great auction. Like I said, whether you're into tractors, early manuals, literature, he's got a lot of good parts that he had partially restored, ready to go on something else. So local signage. So it's going to be a great sale, and it closes June 23rd. And you can check it out at kramersales.com. So thanks a lot for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it.
You bet. No problem. Hopefully people buy a lot of that stuff, and hopefully a lot of it can stay local. That would be great.
Yeah, stay local and hit some of your shows.
Yep, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again, Jerry.
Yep, thank you.